Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News with some latest events in the province. And now coming to details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of July 30, Mr. Nguyen Thanh, member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People Council, attended and handed over decision on personal work at TayNinhTV Party Committee and the Internal Affairs Commission of Provincial Party Committee.
At TTVNEWS Party Committee, Mr. Nguyen Thanh handed over the decision of the Provincial Party Standing Committee to mobilize and appoint Mr. Nguyen Thanh, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, Secretary of TTVNEWS Party Committee, left the Executive Committee, Standing Committee, and Secretary of TTVNEWS Party Committee 2020-2025 term, appointed him to the Internal Affairs Department of the Provincial Party Committee to hold the position of Head of the Department of Internal Affairs of the Provincial Party Committee for 5 years from August 1st, 2021. At the same time, he handed over the decision of the Provincial Party Committee to appoint Mr. Lê Minh Thế, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, Head of Mass Mobilization Commission of the Provincial Party Committee, to the Executive Committee to join the Standing Committee and hold the position of Secretary of TayNinhTV Party Committee 2020-2025 term from August 1st, 2021. At the Internal Affairs Department of the Provincial Party Committee, the decision of the Standing Committee of the Provincial Party Committee has been announced to appoint the head of the Internal Affairs Department of the Provincial Party Committee to Mr. Nguyen Thanh. Speaking at the ceremony, Mr. Nguyen Thanh acknowledged and appreciated the contributions of Mr. Nguyen Thanh and Mr. Lê Minh Thế during the past time. Regardless of their positions, the two countries always successfully completed on a side task.
After more than 10 days of implementing social distancing in the home province of TayNinhTV in the spirit of the elected sitting of the Prime Minister, all levels and sectors have synchronously and effectively implemented solutions to prevent and control the epidemic. The majority of people are ready to support and adhere to social distancing measures.
Implementing the direction of the Provincial People's Committee on strengthening measures to strictly implement social distancing, according to Directive 16 of the Prime Minister, requesting people to strictly follow the recommendation not to go out from 6 p.m. of the present day to 6 a.m. of the next day, from July 28, 2021 to August 1st, 2021, except for the forces on duty, emergency aid, essential goods transport, according to regulations. We strengthen propaganda so that people realize the importance of social distancing, contributing to preventing the spread of the COVID-19 epidemic in the current situation. At the same time, we also remind and resolutely handle cases that intentionally violate the implementation of Directive number 16, gather in large numbers, go outside in the prescribed hours without a legitimate reason in accordance with the law. At the checkpoints in the areas of TayNinhTV, Hòa Thành Thao, Trảng Bàng Thao, Châu Thành, Tân Biên, Tân Châu District, according to the assessment of functional forces, the people basically are big well. Some people have not understood the policy that has been propagated and reminded by the functional forces. During this time, if people violate, the traffic police force cooperates with health authorities to handle cases of going out unnecessarily, with a fine from 1 million to 3 million Vietnam dong. This day, the Provincial Public Security are coordinating with functional forces, strengthening patrol to control and closely monitor the observance of social distancing throughout the province, strictly handling cases of violations, especially as of obstructing against official duty performance. With the determination of the Party Committee and people of the province, together with the unanimity of the masses and functional forces, it is hoped that the province fight against COVID-19 will achieve good results in the coming time to return peaceful life to everybody. Recently, at the health center of Nguyen District, the representative of Lucky Vietnam Company Limited, Phước Đông Industrial Park, Phước Đông Commune, Nguyen District, presented biological products and medical supplies to support the prevention and control of COVID-19 epidemic in the district's worth 3 billion Vietnam dong. Dr. Võ Văn Quốc, Director of Nguyen District Medical Center, expressed his gratitude and acknowledged the positive contributions of Lucky Vietnam Company Limited in the prevention and control of COVID-19. The delegation of Duong Minh Chau District, led by Mr. Võ Văn Khởi, chairman of the district's Vietnam Fatherland Rent Committee, recently also visited, encouraged and given medicines at the isolated areas in the district. At its destination, the delegation recognized and praised the spirit of efforts, not afraid of difficulties of the staff, doctors, nurses, and epidemic prevention forces of the district, who actively and seriously perform their tasks, ensure good monitoring of the health of quarantine people, as well as the prevention and control of COVID-19 epidemic. Currently, the preparation of medicines and medical supplies in each isolated area is always in a state of readiness, planning for emergency situations. Antipyretic drugs, vitamins, especially vitamin C, increase the body resistance, are enough and exist. Therefore, Duong Minh Chau District confirms that there are enough drugs to treat patients. On the same day, the leadership of Duong Minh Chau District, led by Secretary of the District Party Committee Nguyen, also visited, encouraged and supported the staff, doctors and nurses of the District Health Center with 50 million Vietnam dong. While preventing pathogens from spreading in the community, TayNinhTV has strengthened collection and treatment for patients infected with COVID-19. The COVID-19 treatment hospital is divided into the model of a 4-story tower. Accordingly, the 4th floor treats patients with the severe symptoms, including critical, severe, and moderate cases. The 3rd floor treats patients with moderate disease with the available diseases in their body. Meanwhile, the 1st and 2nd floors treat COVID-19 patients. By 6 p.m. on July 29, there had been 1,512 COVID-19 patients in the whole province, with 1,344 people have been treated at the hospital, including 99 critical patients, 227 average patients. Asymptomatic treatment is 1,018 people. Over the past time, the Department of Health has actively implemented the plans to respond to the ongoing COVID-19 epidemic in a complicated situation. The provincial health sector has transformed the functions of a number of district, town and city hospitals and provincial general hospital into hospitals specializing in receiving treatment for COVID-19 patients and has brought them into full play. The solution of dividing hospital into the 4-story tower model is the right one for the situation in TayNinhTV province.
Ladies and gentlemen, overcoming weather difficulties to do well the assigned task, strictly controlling people entering and exciting areas, strictly implementing Directive number 16 of the Prime Minister. Provinces are far from province, districts are far away from district, town, city, commune are far from communes, world are far from world, houses and far from houses. The main goal of preventing the breeder pathogen is always totally implemented by the forces at the checkpoint.
Heavy rains in decision, open cautious tornado and very strong winds. From the noon on July 29, it rained heavily until the evening. Therefore, in order to ensure the good performance of their assigned tasks, the forces at the COVID-19 epidemic prevention and control checkpoints remain on their duty, strictly control people entering and leaving the city. In the rainy and windy weather, we always try to do our best. In general, people here will implement Directive number 16 of the Prime Minister. For the purpose of controlling and monitoring the social distancing order, according to the Directive number 16, the checkpoints have been established with the task of controlling border temperature, strictly checking on people entering and leaving the areas or returning from the epidemic hit areas during the implementation of directive. We must also try to complete the task despite of the rain. People in the area outside the city and from the districts come into very crowded, so we also try to take tests on duty to stop and measure temperature, make medical declarations. Local people are not required to declare health situation, but present the necessary documents. For those who go to the hospital, they must make medical declaration. No matter how rainy or windy, the task must be completed. In addition, in the province, the functional forces at each checkpoint control the business activities of the means of goods transport and at the same time propagate to the people on implementing the prevention and control of the COVID-19 epidemic. As noted by the reporter, the functional forces on duty always fulfill their task well, without hesitation, being on duty for on day and night, trying their best to ensure the safety of people, guiding people to move as well as ensure security and order in the area. From the 18th date until now, the people in the quarter five have performed relatively well. Families, even on the zero, in person or meeting self-managed groups, will also propagate and mobilize them to stay in their own house, rarely contacted directly except for necessary matters. Although there are still a few people in somewhere who have not yet fully understood the implementation of social distancing, their consensus in epidemic prevention and control is at the highest level. The forces on duty in the areas have received the trust, and half of the people in the fight against COVID-19 suggest cooking rice, donated drinking water, fruits, lending houses to set up checkpoints. Each person with one job. If there is not any necessary matter, people should stay at home more. During the time frame from 6 p.m. of the present day to 6 a.m. of the next day, everybody absolutely do not go out. Just doing so, it will have the anti-epidemic forces on the front lines to reduce the difficulty and push back the epidemic in the coming time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.